In the annals of history, World War II stands as humanity's darkest chapter, a global conflict fueled by tyranny, fought with unimaginable sacrifice. But beneath the well-known narratives, a more complex, unsettling truth often lies buried, a truth about the very industries that powered the war, on both sides. We speak of American giants, household names built on innovation and industrial might, names like Ford and General Motors, firms that for decades represented the very best of American ingenuity. But what if those titans of industry also played a pivotal, yet uncomfortable role in powering the Nazi war machine? As the shadows lengthened over Europe in the 1930s, these American corporations weren't just observing. Their German subsidiaries, Ford Werke and Adam Opel AG, were deeply embedded within the rapidly rearming Third Reich. They weren't merely present, they became integral. Ford Werke, the German arm of the Ford Motor Company, churned out military trucks and vital transport vehicles, trucks that would become the very backbone of the Wehrmacht, enabling the infamous Blitzkrieg. And as the war raged, their contributions didn't stop. Some sources even suggest Ford Werke manufactured turbines for the dreaded V-2 rockets, all while American Ford maintained majority control for years, even after the US entered the war. But the story grows darker. As the labor force dwindled, both Ford Werke and Opel resorted to a horrifying practice, the widespread use of forced labor. French prisoners of war, civilians from occupied territories, even concentration camp inmates. They were coerced, exploited, and housed in deplorable conditions, forced to build the very machines that sustained their oppressors. And for these companies, it was profitable. Ford Werke's annual profits doubled between 1939 and 1943, fueled by uncompensated human suffering. Then came the Allied bombers, targeting industrial centers, tearing through the very factories that had supplied the Nazi regime. For many, this was justice, the destruction of an enemy's lifeline. But what if, after the dust settled, those same American corporations sought compensation from their own government? This is where the truly astonishing revelation emerges. After the war, Ford did not sue the US government for bombing their Nazi tank facilities in a retaliatory sense. No, the truth is far more complex and perhaps more disturbing. Under specific US legislation designed for property losses abroad, both Ford and General Motors filed claims, and they received compensation. Ford was awarded approximately $1.1 million for damages to its Cologne military truck complex. But General Motors, their story is even more profound. Through their wholly owned subsidiary, Opel, GM had become Germany's largest truck manufacturer. The Opel Blitz truck was ubiquitous on every Nazi front. Opel also built thousands of bomber and jet fighter propulsion systems for the Luftwaffe, and for the destruction of those very plants, factories, that were indispensable to Hitler's war machine, General Motors collected a staggering $33 million from the US government. $33 million, paid by American taxpayers, to compensate a company for the destruction of facilities that had built vehicles and aircraft for the enemy. The rationale? These were US-owned assets destroyed during wartime, but the ethical implications are undeniable. How could companies that knowingly contributed to a genocidal regime, that profited from forced labor, then receive reparations from the very nation that fought to defeat that regime? It's a chapter of history that challenges our perceptions, revealing the blurred lines of allegiance and the enduring power of corporate interests, even in the darkest of times. A stark reminder that the full story of World War II is still being told.